Good morning, everybody. My name is Crystal, and welcome to my YouTube channel. It is Monday morning, the start of the week, and it's very damp from yesterday. Yesterday was mostly heavy rain and heavy winds that almost knocked me and Max off the path. I'm just going to take a look out the window. We have a bit of sunshine, and it doesn't look like it's going to rain today. Yep, the wind caused a bit of disruption yesterday. Yep, it was flowing, all my things were flying all over the place on the balcony. There was these weird noises. It's very heavy, strong winds yesterday afternoon. I don't know, I haven't actually gone outside, so I don't know what I'm going to expect, but I always put my coat on because even though the sun's out, it's usually quite cold. Alexa, good morning.
Good morning. The time has come, the walrus said, to talk of many things, like Alice's Adventures in Wonderland author Lewis Carroll being born this day in 1832.
Alexa, what's the time, please?
Good morning, Crystal. It's 8:27 a.m.
Alexa, what's the date today?
Today is Monday the 27th of January.
Alexa, what's the weather outlook?
Currently, in Rochester it's 7 degrees Celsius with partly sunny skies. Today, you can expect showers, with a high of 9 degrees and a low of 6 degrees. Also, there's a yellow warning for wind in effect until Tuesday 28th of January, 6 a.m.
Alexa, can you tell me a joke?
Why was the cat afraid of the tree? Because of its bark.
Alexa, who was born on this day?
Celebrities born on the 27th of January include Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, Alan Cumming, Kaiser Wilhelm II, Rosamund Pike, and Lewis Carroll.
Alexa, who was Lewis Carroll?
Charles Lutwidge Dodgson, better known by his pen name Lewis Carroll, was an English author, poet, mathematician, photographer and reluctant Anglican deacon.
Alexa, what did Lewis Carroll write?
Some books by Lewis Carroll include Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, Through the Looking Glass and What Alice Found There, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, a pop-up adaptation, and Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Other Stories.
Okay, so Lewis Carroll was born on this day, but he's no longer alive. So, good morning everybody. I've got up and I'm trying to be the best I can, even though times are tough and hard, and someone is really trying their hardest to destroy and upset me and mess with my head, but in fact they'll end up getting mixed up in the head themselves, because I can play games as well as stupid bullies. I can assure you, I've gone through it all my life. They'll end up going round and round in circles. I won't be controlled by anybody. No one controls me with anything, not even money. I'd rather go without than be with a narcissistic, self-centered, nasty piece of work. And I hope I'm trimming down a bit, but not as much as I possibly can be, because it's very hard just to drink liquids and just eat things like soup to slim down. It's really difficult, and I must admit that if I hadn't have had that small wimpy meal yesterday, that I would have gone a bit crazy. I was craving something sweet. I mean, soup and porridge. I mean, that's what some people survive on, and I admire them because I just don't think I could do that. You know, like the poor countries in Africa, it's just rice, a rice diet. I quite honest with you, I'd struggle really, really hard just to eat rice and things like that. Yeah, when I'm going through the menopause, a lot of women put on weight during the menopause, and of course we've had Christmas where I ate a lot over Christmas. So I'm just trying to get a few pounds off, and I'm just finding it extremely hard. I don't drink sugar in my tea. I don't put sugar in my tea or coffee. There's no sugar in there. So just keep battling on. It's not round the legs, that my legs are perfectly fine, I think. It's just round the belly and the hips, and a lot of women put weight on round the midriff, you know. I think I just need to do a few exercises as long with eating a bit less, that's all. That might help. Anyway, so I got up this morning at 8:05 because Harry was begging me to get up to be fed. Max and I, you know, Max is just a wonderful dog. He's well behaved, and he just is. He doesn't make a mess. He's a lovely dog and keeps me company as well. And Harry is lovely. Because I've said his name, he's coming over. Aren't you, Harry? Meow? Meow? Yeah, I know. So last night, my tablet's bust, and that's really pissing me off because it's got a lot of things on it, and the screen's bigger, and there's me trying to squint to see what's on my mobile phone, which used to be on my bigger tablet. Hopefully by the end of this week I would have got myself, probably late this week, early next week, I'll get myself a lead for the tablet to see if it's just the lead that's packed in. It's one of these like tablet deals where you get a mouse, a keyboard, the tablet, and it's fairly cheap for what it is and what you expect, I suppose, but I don't expect it to pack in after a few months. We'll see. So I just missed that. I can't do the only thing I can't do is Star Maker, which is singing my songs, which was keeping my stress under control. I can't sing songs to Star Maker. Even if they do pinch bits of my videos, and we know that they have on Tattle Life, and one guy did it to me on YouTube. So people have the ability to rip your videos, share them, and some people steal the content to make profits. If you go onto my TikTok, it says my channel is non-profit. So if anybody's been ripping my videos and making money from them, and they do pretend to be you, why I don't know, then that's theft and fraud. And no wonder they don't want me to go outside, because they've committed a crime. You know, they thieve people's videos and the content, and they get ideas. And it's not fair, it's not right, but it goes on, and then they'll send you messages saying you're a mug, an MUG, because they've stolen your property and made profit from it. And it's not only happens to me, so be careful, especially if you're non-profit. There is someone going around there ripping and stealing videos and stealing content and making money from it. I've only got to catch them. I mean, you spend all your life, right, broke and poor, and then some fucking upper class twat is going into your stuff and making money from your things, and you're poor, which is absolutely, it's cheeky and it's disgusting at the same time. Oh, let them do it. It'll be their downfall in the end. It will be. They'll just fall apart because I shall wind them up something chronic. That's why they don't want me to go outside. That's another reason. They're a thief. They're a thief. It's not me that's the thief. They're the thief. Yeah, and no one can be a double of me. I'm absolutely 100% unique. So they must look like a fucking big fake that they are. The big faker. No wonder their pockets are bulging with money, the money they've made out of me. And that's the big con as well. They make out they've got no money, and they dress like they're a tramp, and they make out that they haven't. Well, what are you going to do with it? I mean, you can't take it with you, and you know, you're afraid to spend the money because in your mind you've committed a crime. You must be going through real hell right now. This criminal must be going through hell, right? Trying to convince people that they're not doing anything wrong. Because if you are claiming benefits, you have to declare everything that's coming in, and the government's cracking down on that. Benefit fraudsters, it's cracking down hard on that now. So whoever's doing this to me better be careful. They're onto you. There's a lot of con artists there about a lot. Today I've got nothing planned at all. It's just plodding on like everybody else, really. Food is extortionate. Take for instance a microwave meal that you used to go into Sainsbury's and Tesco's and get for about £1.10, £1.50, straight up to £4.30. £4.30 for a tiny little microwave meal for a single person on their own. £4.30. So if you were living on your own and you bought 5 microwave meals, it's not almost £25. It's disgraceful, isn't it? It's absolutely disgraceful. This is after COVID. And the government made mistakes during COVID. They were having parties. They were eating and drinking. They were mixing with people while we were all suffering. Have we forgotten that? I'm sick and tired of it. It's like we're having our faces rubbed in shit. It's like a form of torture. The poor can't eat, but the rich can. And I don't want to go back to Nazi Germany. And I was watching TikTok, and you are now able to walk through Auschwitz gas chambers where they executed millions of Jews. Nazi war crimes where Germans exterminated Jews, picked on the Jewish nation and exterminated them. killed children and women. Right? One of their tortures was to put women and men in concentration camps and work them to death without giving them very much food. They would give them not enough to eat and then force them to work till their death. They killed children, they killed Jewish children. The German atrocities of World War II. I'm not saying this is happening in Great Britain. There's a lot that is not disclosed to us that we don't know that goes on in the background. We only see on television and the news what they choose us to see. We don't see the real world, just what they choose us to see. What went on during COVID was terrible. We'll never know the true extent of what happened during COVID, how many people passed on, and some of them after these COVID injections. And I'm not saying the rich experiment with the poor, I'm not saying that. Anyway, I was watching TikTok. They showed a tour of the gas chambers where the Jews were gassed to death. And it made me feel like crying. It said trigger alert. Then I went into YouTube and I saw how thin people got because they weren't allowed to eat properly. Women were raped by German army officers and forced to work in brothels. Several men every day raping women, and they actually thought that they were they were told they were gonna get food and looked after if they worked in the brothel, but they didn't. They got beaten and starved still the same. So I'm not saying that Great Britain is torturing, well, the higher ups are torturing the poor of Great Britain. I'm not saying that. But always the rich will have and the poor will have not. Yes, a lot of these German army officers were executed after the war. They were executed for war crimes, torturing innocent people, starving them to death and killing them. It does catch up with you in the end. Does. Might take a while, but they all get caught. And I'm telling you now, I'm no experiment, because I felt like they were experimenting with me and my dad to see if they withdrew sex from my father to see what he would do. And of course, he went after me, didn't he? I felt like me and my father were being experimented, like two apes in a cage. And of course, a man that is withdrawn from sex sees a young woman, and I was raped. They can't get round me anymore. They can't drug me. And that's why they're trying to intimidate. and scare me. They're sexual perverts and freaks themselves, so they don't need to laugh at me. And they teach their children their behaviours. Monsters. See you later.